going on, guys? This is Bourbon back with another beer review. Got a special dual review here. I'm sure you guys know in the description what the beer already is, but I'm just going to let my friend here do a shameless promotion.
Hi everybody, my name is Justin Turner, aka Juice. I've got my own channel over there at Juice's Brew and Q. The goal of my channel is to kind of pair some good beer with great barbecue. You don't find a lot of good craft beers paired in the barbecue world these days. A lot of people just go to the mass-produced, your typical Americanized big beer, you know, Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, stuff like that, and Michelob, especially in the barbecue world. That seems like everybody drinks Michelob. So my goal is to I want to bring more awareness to just good quality beers in barbecue. And I don't do many beer reviews, but I will review some if I've not had them and kind of come up with an idea of what I want to pair with them. So if that interests you, just give me a like and subscribe, and my channel will be getting more content come this 2020 new year. Without further ado, I guess we'll get this started and I'll feed it back to Jason.
Yeah, and then I'll put the link to his channel in the description. We're doing Goose Island Bourbon. I'll try not to. We'll just put it in the middle here. Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. I don't believe either of us have had Bourbon County. So yeah, neither of us have ever had Bourbon County. I kind of said it's not the OG since I've never had Bourbon County Stout ever. But when you live in Alabama, you're just thankful for any Bourbon County Stouts you can get. And we got Cafe de Olla Stout. They didn't say too much about the beer on the website. Y'all know I like to spit information out at you. But one interesting thing is they brewed it with their neighbors, I guess, right across the street at Intelligentsia. I'm probably going to butcher that. I guess they make coffee. And then there's also, I know there's cassia, here it is, cassia bark, orange peel, and vanilla sugar in it as well. And then there's cold brew, but I don't know if there's cold brew in OG Bourbon County or not. So we'll just get into the pour here. This is a little difficult to get open. I'm not sure how much beer to put into these glasses. Since we're sharing one bottle, I'll just do that much.
Now I'll do about equal, I reckon.
We'll probably just sit the rest off camera if we like it that much. Yeah, not a lot of head. A big beer. I think it said what? It was 13.2?
Yeah, 13.5.
13.5. So no, you're not going to get a lot of head with a big alcohol beer like that. Tan head, it's dissipating, not even really there anymore.
I can smell it without even sniffing it.
The alcohol?
Yeah, I can smell that barrel just from the table.
Okay, yeah, I can when I'm doing that, but I don't really get it as much as you.
It's when you're wafting your glass is when I'm picking it up, because
yeah, I mean, I can smell it, coffee and barrel, and I don't really get as much alcohol as you do. That's interesting. So what do you get?
All right, now a little, I'm not going to plug them because I don't know if I can get in trouble for this, but having worked for a barrel manufacturer, we would get every year an opportunity to purchase reused whiskey or used whiskey barrels to have or sell and all, and being around them after the whiskey's poured out of it, it smells like a used whiskey barrel. I haven't had many bourbon barrel aged beers, but of all I think it's been like 4 or 5 that I've had, of all of them, the barrel was more prominent in this one. And I don't know, like it smells like those that I work for, the used whiskey barrels that we worked with. So that's kind of interesting here.
So is it more prominent than CBS? I know you've had CBS.
Yes, the CBS is more of a maple. It's maple barrels, and I can pick up the barrel, but the maple barrel is just not prominent. This is, and I don't know for sure. Does it say if it's oak barrels? I would assume it's white oak since they don't say specific. And if it's white oak, that's what
says bourbon barrels right here on the top there.
Okay, so just bourbon barrels. So I'm gonna say bourbon barrels. That's gonna be white oak. Most 9 out of 10 times it's gonna be white oak. That's what I'm getting. I mean, it smells like a used white oak barrel. That's awesome. And then, what, you getting anything?
I get the coffee. Do you get the coffee?
Yeah, right under that barrel is that coffee.
I feel like I'm getting some kind of spice, but not. It's not so pungent that I can tell it's cinnamon or the what else did they put? The vanilla sugar or the cassia bark. Some reviewer I saw said the cassia bark is actually sugar, so maybe that's what it is. Just 2 doses of sugar or something.
I can't. Yeah, I'm with you. I can't
I
decipher
can tell
the
it's in there
sugar.
though.
I can't decipher the sugar, but it's sugar.
It's right there on the back end of the coffee. I can smell the barrel, but for me, I don't feel like I have the best nose in the world. The coffee and the barrel kind of melts together. For me, it's just hard to pick out, like, yeah, that's the bourbon barrel. But I know it's in there.
I guess it's easier because I've been around them.
That's probably true.
And just smelling when they come off that truck, how pungent they are all at once.
You know what to smell.
If you smell it, if you ever smell a used whiskey barrel, you can pick it up.
I get a little tinge of alcohol, but for 13.5, it's pretty mellow in the aroma.
It's real mild.
You gotta dig in there for it. I'm getting none of that orange. It says it's layered with notes of cinnamon and orange. I don't get none of that orange.
I guess if I now, as it's mellowed, it's set in the glass. It's the small hint. It was real barrel after on the pour, but that's kind of milded out since it's been in the glass a few seconds. And I pick up the barrel, followed by the coffee, followed by the sugar, and on the very back end, there's like a spice and not a whole lot of orange peel, but I can tell it's there. It's like, I got to think about it to tell it's there.
I'm not sure if I'm getting it. I do get the spice. For sure, though.
Yeah, I'm with you. You can't decipher it. I can't tell if it's cinnamon, allspice. I can't.
Nah. That's beautiful. I like that. It's very balanced, I'll tell you that much. Not balanced between malt and hops, but balanced between all the flavors in there. At least in my opinion. What do you think?
That's the top 2 stout for me.
And he's a stout lover. I don't love stouts, so me giving it good praise, him giving it good praise.
That it's not as good as CVS, but it's well balanced. And it's that 13.5 is I can feel. It's not like drinking whiskey, but I can feel it as it goes down. It warms the chest a little bit. So that's nice. That's the first beer I've had. I think that's giving me that sensation, that warming sensation. So that's nice.
Yeah, you're definitely getting the bourbon and the barrel on the palate if you having a harder time like I am to decipher it on the aroma.
Yeah, it's very pungent on the palate. It is very prominent on the palate. I can tell the bourbon's there. It's on the palate. I don't know about you, but on the palate, I can't pick up the spice. I pick up vanilla.
Okay. Maybe that's where that sugar comes in, or the cassia bark. I'm not really sure what cassia
weird
bark
to me
is.
because it doesn't say anything about vanilla.
No, it doesn't.
So I don't understand why I'm picking it up. But it's like that's probably from the barrel, because if it is indeed white oak barrels, they I don't know. Some people might, some people don't. But when they toast the white oak barrels before they char them, the toasting process brings out it has a natural vanilla flavor. So that could be more of the barrel, but it's not like a barrel. It's not like a bourbony vanilla taste. It's like vanilla on my palate. It's weird.
One thing I want to note, I found it interesting. It's a 60 IBU beer, and I looked at the malt bill, which malt bills and IBUs have nothing really. I don't think they correlate. It's just interesting observation I like to make. It only used one variety of hops, and 60 IBUs isn't the lightest hoppy beer in the world on the scale. And so I'm wondering if maybe I think it was Millennium hops I read are in this. So I'm wondering if any of that spiciness comes from the hops, because it is 60 IBUs and not a low IBU stout. Overall, I feel like the spiciness and the alcohol, I feel like I expect it to burn on the way down, and it seems like the bourbon in the barrel like mellows it out right before I feel like that sharpness hits when you swallow, and that's really cool.
I have to agree. This is, to touch on it again, it's an extremely well balanced beer. You get, right here on the bottle, it says coffee aromas layered with notes of cinnamon and orange. Now, I can't decipher the cinnamon, but
I think I get some orange.
The orange is on the palate.
Yeah.
It's real balanced. Like, you taste that barrel, you get the coffee because it's a stout. I mean,
yeah.
You get the coffee, I get the orange, and the more sips I take, I pick up the spice. I can't tell that it's cinnamon, but it is definitely a sweeter spice. And it balances out, like he said, that barrel balances it out. And that barrel with the sugar that's in it, it's a well balanced beer.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly impressed. Goose Island, they.
This isn't the OG version, but Bourbon County is, for those of you who don't know, they did start the bourbon barrel aging stuff. Maybe some guy in his garage, did it first, as anybody says with anybody that is credited as the originator. But they're definitely credited with distributing barrel-aged beer nationally. And I think they're, my first time ever having it, I don't even know when BCS started. Definitely in the 90s at least. So almost 20 years going. And I'm impressed. I think it's well-deserved of the hype. What do you think?
It is. It is. I didn't know much about this beer until he mentioned it to me. And he had been talking about this beer and wanting this beer for a while. And I think, what did they do? They called you and told you it was promised, but then they said, come get it, I guess?
Yeah, so some guy, the shop that I like to go to when I can make the time to go out there, they have a 1 bottle per limit on this stuff, which I know around the country, Bourbon County Stout is handled that way sometimes. And I'm sorry if you're in the same boat as me, but everything they had was already allocated to other people, and one guy I guess he decided he wanted to pay the fee for the beer, and they called me up, and I was going to find money under my couch to get this beer. I didn't care. And it was worth 21 and some change I spent. I don't know if I don't know. Yeah. Now, would I buy this all the time? Probably not. But for the experience, sharing it with a friend, and being able to say I've had Bourbon County Stout, I would make this an annual purchase for sure. Again,
I would say from tasting it, and it says here develops in the bottle for up to 2 years. I bet 2 years that would be incredible.
Yeah,
I bet just aging that would just, and it would be even more balanced. But kind of get my spiel. Tasting this, I would pair with a prime rib. Something this priced, this coveted, I guess, and I'm not privy to what is and what isn't as coveted. I learned most of what I learned is from him. Even though I talk to my wife about this all the time, how of the two of us, the first to get into the craft beer world was I.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like once he got introduced, and it's like the knowledge that he's gotten, it blows me away sometimes. And I would have never thought about beer reviews or watching them, and I subscribe to a few of the people he's told me about, and it interests me now. I kind of took a hiatus from craft beer for a while. My palate kind of got burnt out. It was like I couldn't decipher anything from anything, so I kind of went to a more mixed drink, a bourbon kind of spill there. But that, with being what it is and how highly regarded this is and coveted this is, it's got to go with an expensive cut of meat. I don't know that I would ever pair this with something, because you know, how, would you say it was 20 something, some change?
It's 21.40 something, I think.
So you're looking at that, and then a prime rib roast is going to cost you upwards of $100 to $130. So I'm not going to shell out $150 unless it's to feed a group of people, and you know we do that, you know, bring that in. So you know there's that. That's kind of my take on that.
Little man's up, so if y'all hear him on the camera, I'm sorry. I'm a dad, so you're just going to have to put up with that sometimes in my videos. I'll try to wrap it up, though. I'll let you recommend if you kind of disagree with me or maybe you agree with me. I like to recommend beers to people. I don't think this is a beer for rookies, even stout rookies. I just feel like maybe there's too much complexity in there for somebody just easing it, because I know maybe a misconception with people is that maybe stouts in general aren't for rookies, but I have a brother-in-law, he only drinks stouts. So rookies can enjoy stouts. If you like coffee, try it. But I just feel like for stout connoisseurs, this is for you. I would definitely recommend this more to people who care about beer, will pay a premium. I think this is more up the stout connoisseur area, or even barrel-aged lovers. What do you think?
I agree. I'm gonna talk a little bit because the people that do like stouts, it's not very viscous on the mouth. It's got some carbonation, but it drinks smooth for as complex a stout as it is. But I do agree there. Yeah, I would not recommend this as to be one of the first few stouts somebody getting into stouts would like. If I had to, if I was to being a stout guy, somebody that wants stouts, look for a milk stout first. It's going to be lower in ABV. It's going to be a lot sweeter. It's got that lactose brewed in it, so it's going to be more mild. It's not going to be as viscous, but you're still going to get that coffee and the vanilla and all that stouts are known for. But as you progress, something like this if you are a stout connoisseur like myself, this is one you definitely got to drink. I don't care if you've got to decide, hey, I'm going to pull out of savings to find one. You've got to try this at some point, especially if you love stouts, as I do. But I agree there. I will agree. It is more for a veteran, I guess, for lack of a better word, stout drinker. For sure.
Yeah, I feel like rookies are just going to be like $21 for a beer. Come on. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a snobby thing, but I think it's more for people that care about beer. He did mention the viscosity. I did expect this to be a big, huge, I've heard people call it chewy beer. It wasn't at all. It didn't have a water consistency. I would say medium bodied viscosity. But that surprised me. I expected something really thick, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, same here. I expected it to be real thick, especially because how it poured. But it's not. I'm with you. It's medium bodied. It's very nice.
Just a little more carbonated than I thought. I thought it'd be pretty flat as far as carbonation goes.
And I don't like a chewy stout. I mean, I like all stouts, but I prefer a more mild, medium-bodied stout. It's just more pleasant to drink, especially in the non-winter months. And I've heard one of the guys, I think you said the Beer Patrol.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he makes comments. He's not shameless shout out. He made a comment in one of his recent videos. I can't remember which one, but it was like I think it was the Rainbow Sherbet one. He said that he's not a seasonal drinker, and I'm not a seasonal. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, I'll drink anything, anytime if I can get my hands on it. Not so much IPAs. I'm fixing to make 2020 an IPA hop forward year where I get my palate more developed into that. But I like a more medium bodied stout year round, and this is something that if I had the money and could get it, I would drink it pretty much any time. It's real thin. It drinks easy. It's a good beer overall. I give it I would say on a 1 to 100, I'd give it a 92 or 3, which is good for a stout for me. There's been only one 100 stout in my opinion. That's CBS that I've had. So yeah, there's that.
Now I use Untapped, as y'all know. I like to use that 1 to 5 scale because I use Untapped so much. It's just drilled in my brain. I don't want to say I liked it more than you, but I feel like it's definitely an A beer. I'll give it a 4.5 out of a 5. It's really good and complex. I really like that. because it's 60 IBUs, maybe I'm tricking my brain, but I just feel like those Millennium hops are giving it some sort of spiciness with the cinnamon, and I appreciate that. It gives it more beer character, and it doesn't give it so much of a dessert beer. Sometimes those beers can kind of stretch what you think a beer is, and I don't like that all the time. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5. You got anything else to say?
If I, as I'm on Untapped as well, if I had to do an Untapped type review, I would say 4.25 for me. It is very, very good. I think maybe I only have one, possibly 2 5s on there, and that is Cold Snap and CBS. The only I'm harder on stouts because I'm more of a stout fan. So that take that with a grain of salt. I mean, if he's giving it a 4 or 5, that should tell you how good it is. So I guess that about wraps it up on my end. What about you?
Yeah, I think that's it. 4.5 out of 5, 4.25 out of 5. It's bottom line, it's a good beer. If you got the change, scrounge it up, find you some Bourbon County Stout. Comes out every Black Friday, I believe. Until next time, guys. Cheers.